PvP has been out for a few days now, and after consistently winning most of my games, I can comfortably make a list on the most overrated enemy sends in PvP. Do know that this tier list is mostly made around the maps Factory, Western, and Incursion. Spire is a really weird map, and certain enemies only work on that map, whereas others don't, so I'll make a video about that map another time. For my honorable mention, I have Captain Slime. Don't get me wrong, he can mess up someone who doesn't have a map-wide defense, and if something is taking for him, he can get a lot of value with his debuffs, but I have yet to see a good Captain Slime user in my lobby, so I always spawn kill them. Alright, at number 5, I got Buzzard. Buzzard is the epitome of that potential man image. Yeah bro, there's gonna be this one opponent that forgot anti-air. Yeah, maybe when PvP had just dropped people fell for it, but I've never faced a non-anti-air user. I 1v1 someone who had Buzzard in their loadout, and I asked them if they ever got someone with it, and they said no. You're better off with something that has potential to scare your opponent, like Iron Guard into Refractor players. At number 4, I got Missilebot. Now don't confuse the term overrated with bad, because there's a difference in them. Missilebot does have the potential to punish an opponent who is low on money for a shield, or forgot to use medics. It can also punish an opponent who has a spammy defense, like a bunch of ghosts or mobsters. But from my experience, I've never lost to a Missilebot rush. The closest anyone has gotten to killing me was when they caught me with only 1000 cash. But my tower tanked it until I could get the shield tower down, so I was just fine. And they ended up wasting all their money on that rush. The only time Missilebot works is if your opponent is bad, and couldn't save their towers from an enemy with pretty low DPS in my opinion. At number 3, I have Plague Doctor. Once again, not the worst send, but he only works on pretty bad players. You've probably noticed a lot of my reasons being the potential of an enemy, and that's because as people learn to defend things, the chances of these enemies working in your rush go down significantly. Like with Missilebot, as people learn to use shield or stop spamming towers, the potential of killing their defense goes down, and Missilebot becomes more obsolete. But as for Plague Doctor, the reason why it doesn't work against an experienced opponent is because he literally feeds them money with his spawns, like from the Mega Knights, and it provides no way to kill a tower. I'm sure you guys have gotten it to work to like debuff some stuff against your opponents, but against anyone who uses heli or crits, it's getting beamed. Plague Doctor rushes have also never worked on me in my own experience. At number 2, I have Exo-Santa. Once again, the potential of this guy has gone down as people learn. I remember day 1 of PvP, I would absolutely cook people with Exo-Santa. Now, everybody defends him. Even in a huge rush where I have 3 of them down, they just all die. And now you can defend an Exo-Santa rush with just Heli and Behemoth. And my opponent had like 5 of them in queue. Exo-Santa also has the same issue of feeding money to your opponent with his spawns. And now that Exo-Santa costs twice as much to send, he's honestly not even worth it unless your opponent has a horrible defense. I would recommend you just save money for things like Mark II Plus or Mark I Combat. They're literally only a few waves later and they're a lot more destructive. And at number 1, God I hate this send so much, is Resurrected Slammer. Now hold your hate comment. I have a very valid reason why she only works against noobs. Like I mentioned at the start of the video, this tier list is based around all maps, but Spire. She is so stupidly strong on Spire. I even consider using her on Spire to be a cheese strategy. But in other maps, you can just bait her, and on top of that, I just get DPS to handle her. Resurrected Slammer is also an extremely risky send. That's why I disagree with people who use her as an eco send. She costs so much cash to use, and it leaves you vulnerable to a rush. 15,000 cash for 200 eco is just not that good, it's not cost efficient. Just use Heavy Metal, which provides 105 eco for only 1.9k cash. Another thing I saw was people saying, well, she actually does stuff unlike Heavy Metal, she can stun your towers. And you're right, that's why she's a good send on Spire, because your defense is going to be close to the path usually, so she gets pretty good value there. But outside of that map, she's going to get humbled easily against a decent opponent who knows how to defend the middle, not the front. She does pay herself off pretty fine, so that's why if you're good with her, it's okay, but most people aren't good with her, which makes her overrated. Another thing I do to humble Resurrected Slammer players is stalling out waves to hurt their eco. Since if they rely on her for late game eco, I'm gonna make sure they don't get their hands on her until as late as possible. Anyways, I hope you guys learned a lot from this video. In a few days, I want to make a video where I show the best enemy loadouts and the best tower loadouts, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you for watching.